Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to KC's TV. My name's Dave, and we have a very special guest with us this morning, this afternoon, this night, wherever you are watching. Patrie Godin of Godin Guitars.
Thank you
Welcome,
very much.
Patrie.
Thank you.
I'd reach across and shake
Okay,
your
let's
hand.
do the Canadian way.
Godin Guitars, Seagull Guitars.
Yeah.
Art and Lutherie Guitars. Patrie Guitars.
Yeah.
And Simon and Patrick.
We have Simon and Patrick, and also we have Norman guitars.
And Norman Guitars.
Yeah.
So, a little bit about the history of all these brands,
Yes.
starting back in 1982, I believe.
1972.
1972.
Yeah. So it was started by
years ago.
Robert Godin, my father. My father had a very successful shop, in downtown Montreal.
Yep.
And a funny story is, for Canadian people, moose hunting is very popular.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of my our uncle in the family, tried to convince Robert to go for hunting weekend.
Yeah.
But several times he said, "Oh no, not this weekend. I'm busy." But when you say no 10 times, it's a bit annoying.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden he said, "Yes, I'll go." So they drive about 250 kilometers outside of Montreal.
Yeah.
And at that time, in the beginning of the 70s, the roads, there was no asphalt.
Yeah.
It was a dirt road. It was like taking the entire day to get there. And they get to a small village that is called La Patrie.
Yes.
And so they get to the restaurant, hotel, and everything. They sat down. And at that time, people, when they saw people from the big city, is, wow, what an event, and everything. So all of a sudden, there's an old man that approached, my father with a guitar. And he said, "Mr. Godin, I do windows and window frame. I have a window frame company, but unfortunately, the business is not so good.
Yeah.
But one of my passion is to make guitar, acoustic guitar."
Yeah.
So my father looked at it and tried the guitar. It was not perfect, but he saw a lot of potential. So he said to the old man, "Make me 10 guitars.
Yeah.
I'll try to sell it in my store.
Yeah.
If it works, I'll reorder."
Yeah. Okay.
And this is how it started.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Did they go moose hunting in the end?
no, they came back with a guitar instead. More ecological in one sense.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. So that day, that weekend, totally changed the future of Robert, basically.
Yeah.
Because he always had a dream to travel the planet, but he knew, by staying in his store, it was very limited in one sense.
Yeah.
So sold his guitars, many orders. In 1972, he said, "I'm fed up of that, so maybe I should partnership with him."
Yeah. Okay.
And the first band was created was Norman Guitar,
Yeah. Okay.
because Norman was the name of
Of the gentleman?
Exactly.
Wow. So that was Norman branded when he started selling them in the shop?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Norman is our oldest brand in our company,
There you go.
basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So after a couple of years, the old man was quite old and everything, and he had very strict ideas. He didn't very conservative. He didn't
Yes.
want to. My father was doing recommendation, but he didn't want to change ideas. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Yeah.
But the good news for my father, he was able to go 100% in guitar
Yeah. There you go.
making and
Yeah.
everything. So that was the real beginning for him in one
Okay.
sense.
There you go.
So during the 70s, acoustic guitar, was very strong and everything, enjoying a lot of success in Canada. But beginning of the 80s, he wanted to go outside of the country because it's like Australia,
Yeah.
big country with no population. So for us, for Canadian people, we always look south of us,
Yeah. Of course.
the big United States.
Yeah.
So Robert tried to sell the guitars in the US, the Norman brand, but no success.
Yeah.
Not big.
Probably a flooded market already.
No,
with-
not even about that.
Okay,
They
no.
love the guitar. They love everything about it,
Yeah.
at one exception,
Yeah. Okay.
the brand name.
Yeah.
So they thought
Norman.
it was more. Sorry for people whose name is Norman.
I don't think there's a lot of Normans around these days.
Yeah. But like Australia, Harvey Norman.
Harvey Norman.
Yeah.
Wasn't Norm the Life Be In It guy? Any Australians in the room here? Yeah.
So when he got a lot of people, they say, we love the guitars and everything, but can't sell them. So Robert, was quite discouraged in one sense because he thought he had the best product, but it was just a simple thing. It was the brand name.
Yeah, wow.
So in 1982, he started to create the brand name Seagull guitars.
That's where I got 1982 from before.
Yeah. So 82, this is when Seagull guitar came. At the same time, it was a great occasion for him, to put ideas that he really, really believe, A lot of his influences, is violin, cellos, and things like that. And when you look at the Seagull guitar, basically, the first reaction is you look at the headstock. So basically, the headstock of Seagull guitars is a straight pull string.
Yep. Much like a violin or a cello.
Exactly.
Or any string instrument.
Easier to tune, stays in tune.
Stays in tune.
Prevent neck twisting. So all these features, he said, why we can apply it to a violin and not on a guitar.
Yeah.
So of course, in the market, people, very conservative, they said, oh, what is this strange headstock? But after talking about it, people understood.
Yeah.
A second thing that Robert really believed, that is coming from violin and cello, is the type of finish.
Yes.
This is a crucial part, and even with the Norman guitars during the 70s, it was one of the first one coming with satin finish.
Yeah.
And people at the beginning, I'm sure you saw one of the first Seagull guitar, people thought it was an IKEA guitar.
Yeah.
Because is it like furniture? You have to put your paint on it and everything. It looks very, very naked in one sense.
And satin guitars today are more the norm than the exception. The norm.
But at that time, people, they said, no, only high gloss finish, that we need,
Yeah.
So again, by talking like the headstock, this is satin finish. This is the same type of finish that they use for violin and cellos and so on. The more you play with the instrument, the better the sound it gets.
Yeah, that's right.
So in order to get the full benefit of a solid top, it's the type of finish is very important.
Yes,
and
that's
this
right.
is the idea.
Yeah, and probably a lot of people catch on to that as time goes by, and even now there's a lot of companies still refining their finishing process to get thinner and still have the look as well and the protective element of a finish.
But the problem is they still use polyester.
Yes.
Polyester is like a plastic finish. So the day that you buy it, and in 30 years, even if you play with it every day, it will remain the same.
That's right. And something else that people overlook with a polyester finish, I think, besides all the obvious, is it's very hard to repair if something does happen.
It's very hard, but also
to your instrument. Yeah,
but for us in manufacturing, just to finish a Seagull guitar or any of our guitars, it takes about a week.
Yeah.
And plastic finish, it's you apply the product.
That's right.
Put it in the oven. 2 hours, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, just going back to the history, the name Seagull. Where did that arise from? I started thinking there, why not Moosehead?
No, it's not a moose. It would have been a very good name, But you see, in Canada, we have 2 languages, official languages. We have French and English.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm from the French part.
Yep.
But, the problem is it's very difficult to find a catchy name that is not registered.
Yeah.
But it has to sound good in English. Sometimes it doesn't sound good in French
and
so on.
Yeah.
So during that time, Robert, was thinking, acoustic guitar, the ocean, freedom, and let's call it Seagull.
Why not?
In French, it's not so elegant,
yeah.
but we don't think about it, But in English, it's mouette.
Mouette. Mouette guitar.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not very winner, name and everything. So, but at least with Seagull, it sounds good in English, in French, and German. Everybody remembers.
Yeah.
So that's why the first idea.
There you go.
Yeah.
I had to ask.
No problem.